welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we will be talking about Israel. So to start off, let's just talk about Israel for a second. So over here in Israel, we have some issues, especially within Africa. There are a couple of African countries that have issues with the Israel Federation. With this federation in place, they have a lot of influence in the region, and well, the main reason why they have a bunch of issues with Israel is because the allegiance in the Middle East is strong and has the ability to threaten smaller countries like what they did with the fallen Egyptian Empire. These African countries come together. They come together and have to think of something. So they try to come together and make a peace plan with Israel, but they are infiltrated by mercenaries hired by the Turkish government. The Turkish are now also involved, making the Africans mad. So we got a bunch of mercenaries in here and here and here. So we have these three, and this one over here being influenced as well. So you got 1, 4. Well, they're trying to get into these smaller ones. However, it's too far away, and it's too influenced by Morocco, and they don't want Morocco involved. But they do know that they can get away with these 3 countries over here. That they know they can get away with it. They just know that. So, moving on, Morocco gets involved anyways, and this is a really big mess. And so they're clashing together, being like, "Hey, stay out of these nations." And then Israel's also like, "Stay out of these nations. This is our territory. This is our land. Stay out." And then they're like, "No, we're not going to stay out of here. We have watched you bully nations time and time again. We will not stand for this. I shall stand for these smaller nations that cannot do anything about it." And so what happens is that this is quickly rebutted after the election in Morocco. So after they have a new leader in Morocco, they stop protecting these countries because this new leader is trying to keep the country influenced by itself and be like, "Hey, we don't really need to talk about these other countries. We don't really need to help them. It's their loss." Kind of like isolationism in a way. So continuing on even more, all they really want to do is liberate them by signing a peaceful deal to be a part of the government instead of being overrun by Israel. So what happens is most of these African countries join. So first off, we have this one right here joining, which is insane. This is like almost as big as Rome, basically. Probably as big as Rome. Or the Roman Empire is what I mean to say. Some of these will actually give up. So this one is influenced by it. So they're actually going to join as well. And this is what's going to happen. So their capital over here is going to be Dunzo. And they're just going to Control-C, Control-V. Put a new one right there. That's what happens over there. And over here, we have these countries giving up very quickly. So what happens is they don't particularly wage war on them. However, they do try and infiltrate their elections, and they're successful at doing that, especially with the mercenaries in there, trying to assassinate true presidents that should really be in office. So they're able to successfully come together and join together, and they're able to do the same thing over here. So Morocco isn't able to get these other 2 countries over here. However, they are able to successfully at least liberate some of them. And so with this, let's go to the capitals, or major cities at least. Let's copy and paste these. Copy, paste, copy, paste. And then capitals, we can Control-Z or Control-X. That's what I meant. Control-X over here, and then Control-C-V over here. Put that right there. Okay, now that they have established an even bigger country now, you got 3 big countries. I did not mean to do that. Let's just go on to a different layer. Okay, so moving on from this. Wow, when they gave up, this is not very good. And after this thing all happened, actually during these events over here, we actually had provinces over here being overrun or trying to be overrun by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was trying to sabotage Nigeria over here. So what they tried to do was go right at the tip. They tried to invade up here, which was a wage of war. They tried to invade. So they tried to invade up here, and they also tried to invade over here, which did not go well either. Because very quickly they realized, oh shoot, there's not a distraction anymore, so they quickly drew out. Except they brought their troops back in once again. And this time, Madagascar team arrived very, very quickly because they were just right over here. Like, hey, we're here ready to help. And so they launch a few attacks on them over here, and then they're also able to bring in their army over here. So they also quickly move out, and now they're like, hey, let's get peace. Peace is very good because Saudi Arabia backs off because these two countries over here are very powerful when they're together. I mean, you got a number 2 country and you got a number 13 country together. And then you got a number 1 country. I mean, you'd think a number 1 country like Saudi Arabia would be able to compete against a number 2 and a number 13. But with a number 2 against a number 1 would obviously win. However, a number 2 with a number 13 against a number 1 wouldn't particularly win in that case because they got more people on their team specifically. And before we are done with today's video, I want to mention one more thing. A new member is going to be joining the Heart Alliance with these two. And that will be Morocco, maybe? Or will they not? We don't know. However, I'm just playing with you. This country right here, right down here, is joining. They have been quite isolationist for quite a while. They have been quite dormant. They have done a lot of trading. They have a lot of tariffs. They're a very Republican-centered country. Very cheap over here. Their economy is actually quite well. And since they don't have a huge military, they wanted to join their alliance mainly for some protection from other countries like this big long Chile, you could say. So that is the end of episode 27. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. God bless you. Peace.